Hey Lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new Lovies. I'm so glad to have you all here. We're going to go ahead and jump into our first project of today. Okay guys, you guys spoke. I listened. Okay, now the execution is a whole other story. So I'm gonna give y'all full disclosure. It was a lot going on in this video, okay? A lot of mishaps. I had to speed up a lot of things because it was a lot going on, okay? Just know that. So I need y'all to be open mind. I need y'all to receive it, okay? This is one of those videos where I need y'all to open your minds and receive it, okay? Because it was not all gravy. All right, so as you can see here, I'm taking this book from Dollar Tree and I am cutting out that piece. Now what I did use here is one of those little wood frames from Dollar Tree as well. If you've been with me anytime, you've seen me use them a million times over. And what I did off camera was I did cut the outer sides off of them, and because it wouldn't fit properly over the whole book, like it was going to be some overlapping, and I didn't want that. Now I did want the whole frame, but it just wasn't giving me what I needed, so we had to make it work for us. Now what you see I'm doing here is I'm cutting that all the way down, almost about halfway through the book, and I am putting the top part of this through to the side as well as those pages, because we can use those again for something else. We don't throw anything away, okay? As crafters, we keep it all of it. And so what you see I'm doing right there is I'm sanding it down because I needed those edges to be, kind of semi-smooth. I know I was going to get some jagged edges within there, or jagged pieces, but I was trying to get it as smooth as possible. And so what we're going to make is a shadow box. In a sense. So a shadow box book. Y'all know I like to put stuff together and make it work. We're all about merging things together, okay? So we're going to make this into a shadow box book, okay? And maybe as we go through this, you guys can kind of guess what I'm making, okay? So right here, I'm going in with some of this checker print duct tape, okay? And I'm going to show you guys a picture what inspired this. And so I didn't know if I could pull it off, and I don't know that I really pulled it off. I'm going to say I did, but that's in my brain. But anyway, so what you see I'm doing right here is I'm just lining up that duct tape, and it does not have to be perfect because this part is not going to be seen. It's just going to be the background to our shadow box, okay? So it does not have to be perfect. I tried to line it up, and then I was just like, forget it. Who's going to see it? Nobody but us, right? So it's nobody else's business what's going on up in there. So then next, what I'm going to do is take some more of our checkered duct tape, and we're going to go around the cutout part of this. Now what I did right here was, and I probably left way more of this in than I really needed to, but I just didn't know how to really edit this in knowing that the video is going to be going, and try to explain it, like, because y'all know my brain, and my brain doesn't always work. But anyway, as you can see, I'm just covering up that part because again, this is going to be what is seen through the opening part. Now you can totally do this if you want to leave the book open. That's totally up to you. I wanted this book to be fully closed, and like I said, I wanted it to be a shadow box. That's what I was going after. All right, so as I'm doing this, at first I thought, okay, I'm just gonna kind of fold the tape under the paper, but it wasn't working that way, so I just made it work the best way I knew how. So I have a lot of duct tape going on, okay? We was duct taping everything. So I'm also going to use that duct tape to seal the pages together. Now the alternative here is definitely to use glue if you wanted to, but I didn't want the pages to be seen because why? We are making a shadow box. All right, so once we get that all nice and sealed off, and it's a good way to save some glue too, but I'm going to paint the back of this with some black chalk paint. Now I will be perfectly honest with you, those words still, the print of the words still come through, but because we're going to be adding some vinyl to that, it's going to kind of camouflage. It's not going to be super noticeable. So what I also did there was I took some more of that black paint and went around the opening part of our shadow box book, and now I'm going to go in with some gold rub and buff. I think it's the Grecian gold, Rub and Buff. I started with European and it was just really too muddy looking for what I wanted. I wanted a little pop of shine, but I went with the Grecian Gold Rub&Buff, and I put that on the wood frame. And this is where I'm going to go in and add the glue. I'm just going to add it to the cover, the front cover and the back cover to seal this closed. And you can use hot glue here if you wanted to. I am going to add some hot glue here, but I am starting out with the tacky glue, and I am putting an obscene amount of tacky glue on this because I do not want this baby to come open. All right. So like I said, I'm going to add in my hot glue here just a little bit, not too much. It looks like a lot, but it's really not a lot. So I'm going to press that down. We're going to flip that over, and we're going to go ahead and glue off the back part of this. Like I said, this is the only part that was technically really glued. And yeah, and there you have it, our shuttle box. I love this. All right, can you guys guess what we're making? What our theme is of today? I don't know. I hope you guys are getting a little vibe what we're doing. So now we're going to place this back. And of course, this was not lined up correctly. Well, I did not cut it out correctly. Like, even though you guys saw me with the pencil, y'all saw me trace it out. Y'all saw me do that, right? And y'all know, though, in May's world, measuring, tracing, cutting out, those things don't ever work for me. And this was one of those instances where it didn't work. But nobody's going to know, because who's going to tell them? Nobody. It's our secret. We keep secrets on this channel. So right here, you can't really tell though, because since I did paint it, it just kind of all blended together. At least that's what I told myself. So now what I'm doing, because I wanted to kind of give this a little bit of an antiquing vibe, vintage vibe, I went over with some more of that gold Rub&Buff just on the outline. Now I didn't do it on the rim there because we're going to be adding, look, we're doing Alice in Wonderland theme. We're going to be taking some of this vinyl where I did a word cutout where of course it says Alice in Wonderland, using some gold vinyl, and just like a rub-on, we're just going to transfer that over. We're going to put some pressure on that surface, and we're going to pull that transfer sheet back to expose our wording. Now the A's on this did trickle over. At first I was like, we'll just let it ride, but I just didn't care for that look. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking my little weeding tool right here. We're going to gently lift it up. We're going to snip it, and we're going to cut out the middleman, baby. We're going to cut out the middleman. We're going to reattach it, and nobody's going to know. Why? Because we're not going to tell them. We're going to keep it our secret. It's our secret. What happens on this channel stays on this channel. It's our business. Look at that. Boom. Now, when I pull back that transfer tape, it did pull up some of that paint, but don't you fret, my pet. We're going to go in with some black paint, and we're going to do some touch-ups there. And again, nobody's going to be the wiser. All right? There you go. Look at that. Voila. All right. So now that we have that all done, where I cut down on the wood frame pieces right here, it did leave some overhang with some little jagged edges, but to camouflage that, we're going to go in with some pearl embellishments. Okay, we're going to put that right on the corner. Now this just ties into the theme even further. Now to touch up that rim, because I had to backtrack a little bit because I forgot, we're going to go in with some more Rub&Buff because we want the whole book to be cohesive and look all alike. Now you can kind of see where those back words are picking up, peeking through a little bit. But again, don't be all up on my stuff like that. You have no business looking at my stuff that tough. All right, so here I'm taking this half wooden snowman, all right, that was in my stash. I needed a top hat here, and I painted that part black. I was trying to cut it down with my miter shears. It said no, no, no. So then I went in with my little mini heavy duty tools here, my little mini table miter saw, and we're going to cut the little top hat right on off of there. Wham, bam, thank you. We're moving on. All right, and that was so much easier. I always forget about my little table miter saw. I always do, and I'm like, okay, I need to get this cut because I don't have anything else that I can use as a top hat. So once we're all done, we're going to securely wrap that up, put it back where it belongs. Now I did have to put my little top hat back together. So what you saw I was doing there was taking some wood glue, letting that sit on the hat, because you see those little chippy black pieces, it popped off when I was trying to use the miter shear. So I'm going to have to reassemble that. But again, nobody's going to know because we're not going to tell them. So right here, I'm using some Dollar Tree stickers that had a whole tea party set going on. I remembered I had those. I've had them for a million years in my stash. I don't know if you can find them today. Probably not, because the shelves are shelving at Dollar Tree right now. All right, so those are the 3D stickers, but you're gonna see me putting all kind of goodies. And again, I hope I remember to put the picture up so you can see what inspired our shadow box. So I'm just I'm just taking all these little different miniature embellishments I had in my stash. Now this is going to be Alice. I know it's a bunny. Y'all, I told y'all in the beginning to open your minds and receive it, okay? Because this was the only thing I had that had a little dress on it and that I could possibly make fit into our shadow box. So I'm taking some of my air dry clay. We're gonna make this bunny some hair. Now you're not gonna see the front of the bunny, so you're not gonna know it's a bunny. You're gonna think it's Alice by the time we're finished. Okay, finished. By the time we're finished. Okay. We are gonna make this as Alice. All right, now I'm not a sculptor, so what I did here, I gave her a little hairdo going on. I was trying to make some little wrinkles, ruffles, whatever, up in there to make it look like hair. So we sat her to the side to let that dry. Then we're going to take this little thing of miniature red roses I had here. Once I have assembled that top hat, we're going to add that red rose right on there. And again, can you tell it was all crackly and crumbly? No, you cannot. Okay, don't be all up on my stuff like that. You can't tell. Don't be looking. So we're going to add some gold rubbing buff to that because why not? So then the picture also had like arrows falling down. This is supposed to mimic her falling down the rabbit hole, right? So it just had all the cards, the mushrooms, the hat, the teapot, all the little things, the mirror, the clock. So that's what I was trying to do. Now, what I will say I should have done here for our background is I should have done like a little black streak through there to give that hollow hole look, but I didn't realize it until I went back and started doing the voiceover that I said it's just blending too much. And this is where it started getting a little busy. But because my brain didn't shut off and there was nobody here to stop me, y'all know what I did. I kept going. Why not? Just keep going. All right. Now, this is where we're going to go ahead and make the iconic blue dress for her. And so we're taking, this blue paint. I forget what color it is, but it's blue paint. You can use any blue paint. We're going to go ahead and highlight the little ribbon that was in the back because she wears the blue and white. Okay. And then next, we're going to go in and we're going to, oh no, I jumped ahead. This is where we're going to, I was doing her shoes. I was making the shoes because her feet, it was just bunny feet. So I had to make it look like she had on black shoes because she wears the black shoes. So this is where we highlight the bow in the back. Can you tell that's a bunny? You cannot. Come on, y'all. You cannot. Now I had this little resin bow. It has some little ornaments hanging from it. It was the only thing that I had small enough to fit on the back of her hair. Now she do normally wear the black headband, I think it is, or white headband. I think it's black headband, but I didn't have that. So I was like, okay, we need, to make this look like hair. So I'm going to put this red bow in the back, and it's probably giving Cinderella vibes, but this is Alice. Okay. We're taking Alice to Wonderland. That's our Alice bunny. Okay, nobody's gonna see that. So here's where I start assembling like the little teacup, and what I probably could have done is made the opening a little bit larger, but I wanted to use this wood frame here. So as you can see there, like in that upper corner, I'm gonna say left corner up there, that's the clock. I did that in the Grecian gold, which I probably should have done black or something, but I wasn't thinking at that time and I was tired. Now I also wanted to incorporate the tree where she was sitting under, in the movie, and I wanted to add some vines here. First I was going to do a whole little grass scene around it. I was like, nope, I don't want to do that because it's going to take away from what I'm trying to do here. So I just decided to go with a few vines to represent the tree, and I think I captured that. I think this really, really, really came out cute. It was just really, really busy like me. Okay. So then I'll go in with some more little miniature paper roses. We're going to add those right here, and I'm not sure if you guys can really see like all the what's going on in there, but it's a lot. It's capturing a lot, and I really hope that's the mirror I got going on right there. And then we have some cards, and now we're going to put Alice in the corner. Now it looks like she's being put in the corner, but she's not. She's looking at the hole. She's looking like, do I want to go? Do I not? Do I not? And she's just standing there looking. It has the key in there. Like, it has everything. I was so excited about this, guys. I really was. I love it. It's busy, but I love it. I love, 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 love this. I hope you guys love it too. And we'll have more of that in the final reveal. Now let's jump into project number 2. All right, now I had this top hat in my stash from Christmas. You guys probably remember it was the top hat we used on our Slinky Snowman. I told you, y'all know I like to combine stuff. All right, so we had this. Now I just went in with my hot glue gun to remove all of the embellishments there, with the exception of that red ribbon, but we are going to remove that later on because I just was not digging it, because the red was not matching this deep red that we're using for the roses. All right, now this is just going to be a cute little table topper. I wouldn't really call it a centerpiece because it's not really large enough, but depending on the size of the table, maybe you can make it work as a centerpiece. And of course, if you haven't been able to tell where we're going with this, and I am going to remove that gold leaf out of here, we are going for the Mad Hatter's hat. All right, so this is where I went in. I did take that red ribbon off, and I went in with some checkered ribbon that I had that we're going to take around. Like I said, I'm going to remove that gold feather from there. I just was playing around with it, seeing if that's how I wanted to do it, because the feather normally sits off to the side, but I was like, I don't know what that's giving me, but it's not giving me the vibe I was looking for. So here you see I'm going in, I'm doing kind of a V shape right here in the front of the hat, because when I removed those embellishments, it did leave a streak of hot glue there. I did try to remove it as much as I could. At first I thought it wasn't going to be super noticeable, but it was annoying me a little bit, so I did decide to cover that up. It was not the direction I was going in, but hey, this is where we ended up, and I just roll with it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping the rest of that ribbon around, and then next I'm going to go ahead and add the feather to the front, kind of tilting it off to the side a little bit, but it's still very much in the front, because I didn't think it would work on the side. I don't know, y'all. I just was all over the place. Like I told you guys in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was going for it, and this is where we landed. So if I captured it, I did. Kudos to me. If I didn't, hey, kudos to me for trying, right? That's all we can say. So here I'm taking some more of these little miniature cards. I got these miniature cards years ago, and I was like, I don't know why I picked them up. I have no idea, but I was like, one day I'm going to use them. Had no idea this would be the video, but they actually came in quite handy because of the size. Like I think they're probably like less than an inch, right at an inch in size. But anyway, then I had this a buffalo print flower, paper flower that I had, and so I'm just going to start adding different colors of flowers, because when I think about Alice in Wonderland, I think about all the different textures and things and the busyness of that film. Like it was just so much texture in the movie, at least in my opinion. That's how my brain saw it. And so when I think about it, I think about all the different roses and flowers and things like that, and the colors. And so even though I wasn't super colorful in this one, I felt like the addition to those paper flowers brought in that additional color that I usually think of when I think of Alice in Wonderland. Now, it still wasn't looking like the Mad Hatter's hat to me, but I then remember that it usually has a scarf tied around it with some tails in the back. Now, this is not going to be super visible, but I'll know it's there, and it did start giving me kind of sort of the vibe I was going for. Not like a lot, but hey, give me grace, guys. We did this. I'm okay with this. This is kind of cute. I added some pearl embellishments also on there, just one or two, I think. Then I'm going to take this super cute candle holder that I found at Dollar Tree. I love the shape of it. It screamed Alice in Wonderland to me. Then I have these stickers here with some frames and bows. And that's another thing when I think about Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why. I think I was combining Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella together. But hey, it's all Disney, right? Okay, so anyway, so the frame didn't fit like I thought it would, so I cut it in half. So I'm going to put half on the back, half on the front, and we're going to put one part with the bow, and the other part is just going to be bare. But I still liked it because from either side, I think you get a pretty nice a picture, or not picture, but a good view of it, whether it's from the back or the front. And so right here, I'm just adding that bow in here, and I just love this gold sticker up against this black the candle holder. Like, I really love that. It just really is elegant. So to me, you know, if you don't glue the hat down, you could definitely leave this as is and just put a candle on it just like that. I really love this. I do. I didn't see a need to do anything else with that. And we're going to put that right on top. Now, I am going to glue this down just because, you know, that's me. That's how I roll. But if you choose to recreate this by some chance, and you can do this, like if you don't have one of those hats in your stash, you can totally remake this, like using some ribbon rolls and some cardboard. The options are endless, so you can still obtain this look in some styrofoam and you will get the same look. All right, so I had this little wood round I'm putting in there because there was a little bit of a dip in this candle holder and I needed to fill that space. So I just went in with some of my Aliens tacky glue, set it down in the center. We added some more Aliens tacky glue on top with some hot glue, and that is it for this piece. It screams Alice in Wonderland to me. I don't know about anybody else, but it does to me. And guys, I will show everything in the final reveal, so please stick around for that because I just like to show everything all together in its full glory. I did add in a little king's crown there. I thought this was just so cute. The busier the better, in my opinion. Now this one, oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah. All right, so got this charger plate from Dollar Tree. Okay, it's the black charger plate. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And then I did this printout on my computer. Now, I don't have one of the little fancy computers. Printers. I have a little cheapy little printer, and this is just regular paper. Okay, now I knew this was going to be thick, and I didn't think about it till afterwards. My good friend Kathy Joe did a tutorial, kind of sort of a tutorial on removing the paper from the back of the paper, taking some masking tape and removing the backing to the paper to thin it out. And I didn't think about that until afterwards, but nonetheless, I did a hard cut on this, and we are going to be decoupaging. And normally I am more of a water pen person. You guys have seen me decoupage many times over if you've been with me anytime, but in this instance, I needed to do a fussy cut because I needed to get all the definition from this picture. All right, and because it's so thick, it wasn't going to work with me doing it wasn't going to give the vibe I was going for, because I wanted to kind of look like magical, like the rabbit was kind of coming through. You guys will see. I think I captured it, but it was kind of starting out as a hot mess. But anyway, my glue stick was dried up. I couldn't use it, so I went in with Mod Podge, which actually kind of worked in my favor because it made the paper more it made the paper where I was able to manipulate it a little bit more and work with it a lot better, because it softened it up. You know, once that moisture hit the paper, it kind of softens it up. So it made it easier for me. So then now I'm just going in with yet again some more of that Grecian gold rub and buff, because again, we want that vintage, rustic, not rustic, more vintage look. And I do go in with some black rub and buff, the ebony rub and buff, and it has a slight shimmer to it. But again, this is it. At first it didn't, I'm like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, May, but I kept going. So I'm blending it around the rabbit to try to blend it together, but I wanted it to look almost 3D. I don't know how to explain this part to you guys, but I just went with it. I went in with some gold rub and buff over that black rub and buff, and I like this. I gotta say, it came out better than what I thought. At least I think so. I don't know. It was giving Alice in Wonderland vibes. I don't know if I'm trying to sell it to myself or not, but I'm buying it today. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase. Okay, I'm purchasing today. So I go in with yet again some more of my checker ribbon. Made me a makeshift Maybow. I just layered some loops together and put that all on here. Now this did not make sense because, as you saw, I cut off the body of the rabbit, and that was my thought process when I made the bow, but then I forgot about that, and so I just kind of stuck it on there, and it just didn't make sense. But I just rolled with it because it was on there. All right, and here we are with our fourth and final project, which is, of course, our terracotta teacup. And if you have been with me anytime, you know on this channel we have been doing a series called the Terracotta Teacup series, where we take a terracotta pot, add a handle to it, and we are calling them terracotta teacups. So we add that handle, we add a theme, and there you have it. In today's theme, of course, we're going to continue on with Alice in Wonderland, and this is kind of what sparked it off. Quite a few of you guys asked me to do the teacup, terracotta teacup. And so what I did was, as you saw there, I took one of the little tea sets from Dollar Tree. Now this tea set was rejecting the rub and buff. I guess the rub and buff was like, okay, you've used me enough today. I'm done. I'm tired. Let's be done. So it did take it on the raised parts of the tea set, and I wanted to keep this color. Now, one thing I will say, I probably should have painted the teacups in different colors, but by the time I got here, guys, I got tired and I got lazy, so y'all know how that worked out. So it ultimately worked in my favor. I still like the colors of it. Adding the gold to them, it kind of juiced it up a little bit. So then what I decided to do, as you see right here, once I painted the terracotta pots, I was like, it's just too stark white for me. Let's add some more rub and buff here. So it was a rub and buff video. So then I had that little S hook that you hang ornaments on. Had those in my sets for many, many years. Never knew what I was going to do with them, but today we found out. All right, because that's going to be the handle for a terracotta teacup. All right, so as you see, what I'm doing right here is I am just gluing everything together. I have another one of these wood rounds. This is going to be the platform for us to start stacking up our teapot with our teacups to make the whole leaning tower, all that stuff go. Okay, now what I forgot to do was take one of the plates from the tea set, and I forgot to put that at the bottom of the teapot, but I again didn't realize that until I was filming the final reveal. I'm like, this looks really plain at the bottom. What's happening here? But anyway, we'll see. So here's where I start stacking up the cups. I only used 3 of the cups out of the set. I didn't want to make this too tall because it really did come out super tall. I want to say it came out probably about a little bit over 12 inches. It was really tall, way taller than what I thought, but or thought it was going to be. But yeah. So we just kept going here, and I'm just using hot glue. This is, it doesn't require anything heavy duty, or it could, but I just was like, I'm ready to be done and go to bed. And so I'm just leaning them back and forth, and I really like this. Like, I really think this came out super, super cute. And this is where I'm adding in the little S hook hanger there. I did have to secure it with some hot glue, and it did leave some little bubbles there. But you know what? I was like, you know what? It's okay. This is a craft. We're not changing the world. We're just crafting here. Now, that's the top to the teapot. I wanted to incorporate that some kind of way, and this is where I'm like adding in more of those florals. Again, to me, it's just about the textures and the florals and the colors and all of that busyness when I think of Alice in Wonderland. And I just wanted to trickle down some flowers. And I thought this really came out cute. Super busy yet again. But I really, really, really love this. And I hope you guys too, and did too. And here we are, lovies, in the final reveal. If you are still here riding with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys know that. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, because you guys know how much I love to chat it up with you guys in the comments after each and every video. So please keep the comments coming, because that is just such a joy for me. And also, you guys know the drill. Did you have a favorite of today, lovies? I don't know. I love them all. I really did. It was lots of fun. You guys challenged me. Okay. I hope you guys can see all the business of our shadow box book, but I really love that. You guys challenged me, as I was getting ready to say, and I love a good challenge. I really do, because it takes me outside of my comfort zone. I'm a pretty safe crafter. I'm not very risque per se. So yeah, I'm just excited about this. It was lots of fun. It's something I've never done before. It was lots of fun. I've kind of been dibbling and dabbling. You guys know the last few videos or so. a few videos. I've been dibbling and dabbling with it, and so I was really excited to bring this all together. And I was excited that we pretty much used all Dollar Tree items today. I forgot to mention that. Like, I was really excited about that. Like, there was some, stuff that I've had in my stash from, here and there and everywhere. But for the most part, our base to all of our projects were used with Dollar Tree items. I know we're not a fan of Dollar Tree right now, but I gotta say, if you're really heavily into this, Alice in Wonderland theme, this is just something to consider to, really do this on a budget. Like, we, really, depending on what you have in your stash and how creative you can get with this, I say we did this for under $25, to be perfectly honest. All four, I think we did for under $25, all four projects. I really do. So, yeah, but let me know, guys, what you think. I probably won't ever try this again. Unless something pops in my head that I really like. But stick around, Lovies, because what I like to do after each and every video is share some of the terracotta teacups that we've made within this series. We are on number, I don't think I said that, we're on number 84. I think. And I did lose some footage some months ago, so I only have a few of them to share. It does go by quite fast. We are on the road to 100, so I like to just add that in the end just so you can see what we've been up to. It's been a lot of fun, and I've just enjoyed taking this ride with each of you, and I love the encouragement and the suggestions for different cups. I see this as something that is kind of spanning out, and I don't know, I like it and it's fun. I'm kind of sad when we get to 100, but yeah, we are at number 84, so I am excited about that. And if you have an idea for a theme of a cup, let me know. Leave that in the comment section below. We do have a running list. If it's already on the list, look for it in the future. If it's not on the list, I'll be more than happy to add it to the list just for you. So now, yeah, so let me know, even if you have a favorite of those, what you do see here. It's not every one of them, like I said, but if you have a favorite one of these, I still haven't corrected that lantern one. One day, y'all. I told y'all it might not be one day in the future, but it'll be one day. But I do want to say thank you again, Lovies, for being a part of Craft Away with May, being a part of this journey, being so inspiring and encouraging. My heart melts sometimes. You guys really make my heart flutter with your sweet and kind words and the love that you guys just pour into me. It just really motivates me to keep going. Even when I have days where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to craft, and I want to bring you guys good content, and I just have nothing. I feel like I have nothing to offer you, and I still bring it, and you guys still cheer me on, and that just means the world to me. Okay, so also, if you guys want to buy me a coffee, that is the way to support my channel. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/craftaway with May. Don't forget to hype that video once you like the video, and until the next video, Lovies, be safe, be kind, hugs and kisses, XOXO, bye.